Good morning, everyone. It is Hump Day, Wednesday, woo woo, August 18th. Thanks for joining me here this morning. I'm going to go over a little watch list. I did not put one out yesterday with the market looking, pretty red. To this morning, we are looking just a little bit better, although partially red here. So when I want to look at the futures, you can go to investing.com. Click on the little tap up here that says Indice Futures, and boom, you can see them all there. Now, of course, we get a bunch of commercials on it, and that's okay with me. You can also upgrade and pay and not have that, but hey, I'm okay with the free version of it. Here is a look at the Dow, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ flipping to green here, and of course the Russell 2000, the IWM, the Russell 2000 here, and this is what they're looking like. So a little red, not too bad, fairly flat, other than the Dow Jones there, a little bit deeper in the red, but not bad. Yesterday, let's take a look at how we ended up our day, and it's important to look at. Okay, so we've talked about the low volume that we've had, correct? As we've climbed up here, we took a red day. We touched all the way down to the 20. This is the 20 moving average. The 50 is super important, right? But this 20 is still significant, and we built up some volume here. So we will see if this push, which if you look inside the candle, I have two different volume profiles here. So, well, actually, I guess three, but this is the regular volume, so it's green or red depending on the candle, and the yellow line that moves through is a 50-day moving average. So I can kind of see where is the average, and I've pulled this down to the 20-day moving average, and I haven't found that it really made that big of a difference. So I went back to the 50. But this is the shared buying and selling, and why is this important? Because if you just look, let's pretend you can't see any of this down here, and you look here. It looks like, wow, we really accelerated on a red day. We did accelerate volume, but how much of it was red compared to green? So what we did, this is when we go back, maybe take a look inside the chart and say, all right, we did a decent amount of selling, and then midday, look at the volume of buying that came in, and especially there in the last couple candles. So typically this is what the candles set up like, where there's heavy volume in the very beginning of the day, heavy volume in the end, and kind of meh, maybe if there's news, or today we have FOMC minutes, so around news events we can get a bit of a bump. But for the most part, most of your volume comes in kind of on the average, on the range indexes anyway, right in the beginning and right in the end of the day, and we really accelerated that buying right into the close. So when we come back and look at that chart once again, you can see, wrong one, sorry. When we come back and look at that chart again, you can see that we did a very nice amount of volume. Now, what we do want to see is follow through now, right? Because we have this nice long tail pushing up and away from the 20. After a day after setting in a new high, taking a little bit of a break here. Now we want to watch for follow through to continue hitting this trend line, and maybe even popping through it and using it for the support. I also have a little bit shorter of a trend line in here. I know it looks a little messy, a little bit shorter of a trend line in here, and this is the next trend line kind of target once we make it through this lower one. And then the other thing I want to point out here on the SPY, and then I'll stop talking about it, is look at this orange line. I drew this in because this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th day before we could finally break through this level, right? That then became our support, and then we came right back to it. Funny how that happened to converge right here with the 20. Excuse me. So just little nuances to kind of keep track of. But again, if we continue up here today, or maybe we just start a new channel, that could very well be. Let's watch the volume to see if where we accelerate in volume, is it going to be buying or selling? Keep those levels, just keep them in your minds overall. And then the other thing I want to point out, then this really will be the last thing, is look at where our candle, the body of the candle, right? It's super small. That means we started and finished in the same place. So you'll hear me say, especially if you're in the room during the day, We worked really, really hard all day to end up exactly where we started. It's crazy. That is a very frustrating day. So if you're having trouble kind of timing entries and exits, it's okay. It's not just you, it's our market, because we keep ending up kind of where we started. And if you're trying to day trade, you have to find those names that are really moving. Otherwise, you feel like you're just getting chopped in and out or completely stalled out. But that's what the market's doing. We take this big, long, meandering walk to end up exactly where we started, and you're like, ah, boy, that was a long day. And days like that, don't trade. Just walk away. Rather than sit down and force yourself to try and trade all day, just walk away and come back on another day. There's always going to be another day of trading. All right, so let's take a look here at Bitcoin futures. They're kind of rounding over here, sitting at the 8. I know some of you are in some different Bitcoin plays. I'm still waiting because I want to get up above this trend line. That's what I'm looking for. So I get asked often because it was in my chart. I really was looking to buy here the last on the 13th, and then follow on Monday on the 16th. And even as we started the day, I was kind of hoping on the 17th yesterday that maybe we would push up, but we didn't. We failed pretty quickly, so I will continue to wait. This trend line, above this trend line, is going to be my signal to take a look at those plays like Coin, Mara, Riot, right? So they're all coming back to some pretty decent moving averages anyway, but let's just be patient on those. Crypto is not going anywhere anytime soon. Okay, so let's hop in and look at a few charts. Really want to start out talking really quickly about, or the first ones I want to talk about here are the vaccine. A lot more discussion about getting the boosters, pushing to get the boosters. Some are being recommended to get the boosters. Of course, as the variants take hold here and start spreading, it's not just the Delta variant, right? We have the Lambda variant as well, although we haven't heard nearly as much about that. It is there, right? And viruses will always continue to mutate. That's how they survive. That's why we haven't been able to cure the common cold, also a coronavirus. Okay, but watch for these beautiful, just beautiful moves yesterday. So we came in on Monday, and we pushed down pretty hard, but came right back to the 20 here in Moderna. And even on that candle, we talked about nice little gap and potential room to run. Yesterday came in. The move into that gap or through that gap was just a beautiful for those who did catch it. But now I'm watching this 405 level. Okay, through the 405 level, really like Moderna. And on this one, I would kind of push out more toward the 410 or 420s. In this one, we'll just really nice continuation here this morning. I do believe that we are opening up a bit. Let me just take a quick look. Yeah, we are. We're sitting at 408. 408 also happens to be a month, 407.10 is a monthly pivot. So we're going to be sitting just above that. So maybe take this off of an opening range break. You're going to see very similar looks here. Look at NVAX, really nice push right back into the candle there. We didn't quite touch the 20, but all of these, keep a good eye on all of these. The one, here's BioNTech. BioNTech, nice level here. This is a really nice level, right? And then I like this over the 8. So right at that 370 mark. And PFE, just all breaking out. What I've set up here is J and J though. I like the look in J and J. There we go. All right, so why do I draw in all of these trend lines? It gives me nice areas and targets to shoot for here. J and J is pulling back just a little bit here pre-market, not very much, which is why I am. Well, now it's back to even. It is sitting, there is a monthly pivot sitting at 178.85. It went through that yesterday, this morning, sat on top of it and pushed red a little bit, and now is sitting even at 179.47 from yesterday. Was looking for a little bit of a red, then a push through the high of that 179.51 is the look that I am watching for here. So keep an eye on J&J. I like the 175s. All right, let's take a meander over into tech. AMD, well, this thing, huge run up. It's been on our watch. A lot of people have day traded it, played it all through here. It came back in and is just continuing to consolidate here on some decent volume, right? So some really decent volume here. Now the 3 is curled down at the moment, but I like this for a move through all of this. I actually, at 108.60, I'm going to use this here. 108, maybe 108.70 is the look. So that's up through yesterday's high. That is the look I am looking for to go long in AMD. And I would take a look at the 110s in that. Snow came down, hit the 20 beautifully. We have a catalyst of earnings coming up. Looking for a move through yesterday's close or the high, depending on where it opens here today. But through the close would bring us in at 278 on snow, and I am watching the 290s in snow. Etsy used the 50 and the 200 so nicely yesterday and actually closed just a smidge above the 20. Our moving average is actually quite tight here. I'm looking for anything above the 20 or on an opening range break, and I like the 200s in this one. I like watching Square here to use this little area of support. Not the best setup right now, but looking for a reversal in this. I like the reversal through the lower level of 257.88 or a push through that 200. Somebody here in the room sent me the PayPal chart. Like this consolidation, didn't love this particular move, but it came right back up into this volume area. And these just, really kind of struggled here. And I think a lot of this is also in Bitcoin, right? So we've seen some struggles in Bitcoin as of the last few days. And that does weigh on PayPal and Square simply because they have some decent exposure to the cryptocurrencies. So keep an eye on that. I'd love to come back in this range, and I actually like PayPal over 278.50. A couple setting up, but not quite there yet. Facebook, nice reversal in yesterday's action. Over the 20 looks decent, but this is the same level that has been drawn in here. Now we did come through it, but I like the level there at 263.80 for Facebook. Watching for a move back up in that. Mew just got clobbered on some news, but look at this beautiful level. It has set in, and we are just open candle, open candle, open candle. Has a lot of room here. I like it through the high of yesterday, and then watching for the gap and the move through the gap to the 8. So that's kind of like the initial look there. Again, don't hop in just because it's inside these candles here and looking to move green with an open candle. It really does need to show that it's not going to give us a head fake or a fake breakout here. So I like it over I'm going to say 71.50 there through 71.50. Okay, that is it for me here this morning. Now there's several other charts that we can take a look at. Oh, and Snap. Want to put Snap in here. Look at this. Held a lot of this gap from earnings. I like that we held a good portion of that gap. Long tail, so looking for a reversal on this. We'll see if this sets up as well. Okay, that is it for me here this morning. If you have any questions, Heather C at GivingTreeTrading.com, and I will also be in the chat room all day. Hope to see you there.